morning. Talk 97.3 FM.
Oh, that's what
104.1 FM and 990 AM. WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with retired U.S. Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, morning, Moore County. Time to get out of the rack. It's a perfect day. Little gray, little hazy, little wet. Let's go out and work up a sweat.
All right, you got your standing orders. Don't forget, of course, this program is now being seen around the world on the live video stream. That's available right now at talk973.com. Upper middle of the page is where the link's located that will get the work done for you. And if you're on your mobile device, YouTube will do the work. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man in the search. If you're just needing audio of our #1 program, well, you can get that too anywhere in the world with from our website at talk973.com. Upper right-hand corner of every page has an icon that says on the air, listen live. Tap it once, you're listening that quick. And if you're on your mobile device, you can get it with many streaming streaming apps such as TuneIn, iTunes, Streama, iTunes as long as it lasts.
Another week or two.
And many other streaming services except iHeartRadio will do it for you. Just put WEEB into that search to get the correct results at the top. And then look for our little emblem there. That's the one you want. All right, weather for us today here in the Sand Hills. Today's going to be the muggy one, but it will improve after today and quite substantially as far as humidity goes. We get on to the front side of a high that is coming through, and it's be bringing in that northwest air, and that means drier conditions for us. Thank goodness.
That's why you got to get out there and enjoy that humidity today while it's here.
Yeah. We'll see humidities in the low 60s, upper 50s for much of the week, but not today. Cloudy with a chance of showers today. As you know, no washout, but could happen. 84 for a high. The saving grace for today will be the clouds, since it's going to be humid. Mid tonight, more of the same, a low 68. Tomorrow, we'll see some sunshine. Partly cloudy, few scattered showers. High of 80, but dew points down in the low 60s to upper 50s. So it'll feel a lot better on the skin. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, 62. Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Showers likely. We've heard that before. And Johnny calling whoop, but that might change on Wednesday. We'll see.
They call you the Rain Man.
High of 73. There's your saving grace. Thursday, partly cloudy, scattered showers, high of 82. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, partly cloudy skies, chance of late day, evening thunderstorms, high 83 to 85 through the weekend. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles, humidity maxed at 100%, dew point way up there in the super muggy range of 72. Pressure is 30 even, is partly cloudy 72 right now, on our way to 84 here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, as you may have heard, John Zumwalt's extended Zumwalt zones, of course, heard Wednesdays at 8:30. This week's going to be chock full of information and stuff you have not known yet about this school board and the personnel debacle.
That'd be interesting.
Yep.
What more could there be?
You guys at the pilot might want to listen in and hear real reporting for a change, since you wouldn't know it. They wrote a long article about the school in Aberdeen and the Superfund sites around it. Turns out there are 5.
Oh, there's 5 altogether, not 3.
5.
Oh, dear.
3 near the school.
Even better.
Yeah. And they gave the length of when they opened, what they did, so forth and so on. And long story short, they're all chemical waste dumps.
Right.
And they're building a school next to it. Yeah, they come in and clean some of the dirt, but how far down did they go? You can't ever get it all. That's the point.
Well, the point is the EPA has still has those sites on its active inspection list.
Right.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah. So, that said, they got down to the end of the article and went, well, guys, you left out a whole lot here.
Yeah.
Why aren't you asking school board questions?
Oh, exactly.
Why aren't you asking people who have children that are going to be going to that school questions?
Right.
You know, go find them, get them, interview them, see what they think.
Yeah.
That would make the article, but you didn't bother to do that. No, that would require you getting out of your butt, off your butt, up out of your seat, and go knock on some doors.
Yeah, ask the school board and the school administration if they would like to have a new school administration building built on that site long term, so they can hang around on it. That's what I think they ought to do with that site.
Yeah.
Yeah, let the superintendent and the school board sit on that site every day.
Yep. You can ask the question, not that you'll get an answer from someone in government, but you can still ask the question.
Well, part of one of the things there that John has read several times is that the EPA has quote unquote cleared that site for short term occupancy or short term. I can't remember what the term was he used now, but basically EPA said, hey, for the short term, meaning that hey, you can walk around it, you can drive around it, et cetera. No likelihood or very little likelihood that you'll have any issues. What they still have not cleared that property or those properties for is long term. Mm-hmm. So what they're saying is, hey, you just want to go out there and hunt for the day. You want to, just have a picnic or something. You're probably okay. But if you want to build a building on it and you want to live there, well, we're not so sure that's a clean place to do that yet. Mm-hmm. That's what the EPA is really saying about those sites.
Guess we won't know until the kids that go to that school
let the kids,
are young adults and start developing cancers and all sorts of other ailments that we can't explain.
Exactly. Let teachers go work in that school for 10, 15, or 20 years. Let kids attend school there for 5, 6, 7 years. Yeah. That's what the EPA is saying. That's probably not safe.
Right. And why take the chance? That's the other point. We're not out of land.
Yeah, Moore County, boy, we're just chock-a-block end-to-end with houses and stuff. I don't know. Where could we possibly find some more space to put a new school?
There's land that we have that's already zoned and we already own.
Yeah, well.
Right there behind Pinecrest. There's 16 acres. Enough for another elementary.
But it would be so hard to grade that property. That's why.
Give me a break. And then, so they build the school a quarter mile away, up the street, basically, on Morganton Road. The land was appraised there. The 20 acres was appraised there 2 years ago. It's $29,000 an acre. Then, lo and behold, about time it's time to write a check for the land, it was appraised it was sold at $79,000 an acre. Super increase over 2 years, 50%. I want to buy that kind of land. And, senior moment, my climatic statement.
Well, John,
and an extra $1 million check written for it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Going to the Neil Van Camp family.
Yeah, millions and millions of dollars here. And, as we've stated before, there's been a FOIA for this. And, we don't keep minutes. We don't keep notes or recordings or transcripts of certain things there.
Well, the biggest question that comes to mind is, how did it appreciate so much? And why didn't we use the Pinecrest land? I'd really like to know that one. Especially when we already own it and it's sitting there doing nothing. They've already mined it for trees. Yep. And basically run it. There's just nothing but weeds and chips all over the ground. I used to go over there a lot because they had a cross-country track through it.
Oh, yeah.
And in the hot summer, you were completely shaded and you could get your walk in without being in the hot sun. But they ruined that. It was a nice zigzaggy trail in there that the cross-country team used. Not anymore. That's why they're all running down the Loop Road.
Right. In traffic.
Yes. Gee, makes sense to me, doesn't it? You, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yep. What else can we crawl on them about? Anyway.
There'll be plenty of opportunity for these guys.
Yeah.
The pilot should really, take a clue. And what's the name of that paper in Myrtle
Sand
Beach?
Hill
The paper in Myrtle Beach that actually got into some of this stuff.
Down in Horry County.
Did some honest investigation.
There you go.
There you go. There's something you might want to think
Well,
about.
the pilot won't do it because they're in bed with the school board. These are the people they endorsed. These are the people that can do no wrong. So, it's just, they just won't go against them. They won't print a word negative toward them.
Yeah.
Instead of telling the truth and actually doing investigative work. Okay, they did a pretty good job of investigating the Superfund sites and all that, but you didn't finish the job, dude.
Yeah.
You need to go interview people whose school kids are going to be going there.
Yeah, have a little intellectual integrity.
Yeah, and have the school board respond to some questions, particularly the school superintendent and John Barath.
That guy, yeah, he's the one.
He's bad news.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when the school board hired John Barath, Nick Persono was the chairman of the school board. Now, I don't want to be putting words in somebody's mouth, but I was there to hear the words come out of the mouth.
The commissioner.
Commissioners. Chairman of the commissioners, my bad. And he made it perfectly clear, without any doubt whatsoever, that as long as John Barath, well, let me back up. Nick did his own investigation of John Barath. He called the Johnson County school system. I believe that's where he was, wasn't it?
That I'm not sure where he came from.
That's my understanding. Anyway, it was another school board system
Right.
that had him hired. And he came from there to here. And so Nick called there to find out who is this guy? And he talked to the county commissioner at that county and said, and the county commissioner there, I think it's Johnson County. Anyway, county commissioner Johnson County says, we're so daggone glad you hired him, we can't hardly stand ourselves.
Yeah.
And got him away from us. Well, that was all Nick needed to hear. And he heard a lot more details on it, which he'd have to speak to. But he stood up and publicly said at the time, he said, as long as John Barath's on that payroll, you will not get a dime from this Board of Commissioners for anything. But that's about the time it was time for election, and the school board hadn't asked for any money yet. They were delaying all that fight because Nick had said he wasn't going to run for re-election.
Yeah.
And so they just let it go by at that point.
Well, they're asking now. Not only are they spending your money at a rapid rate, but they're going to ask for more. They've already asked for more.
Yeah, they've asked for $4.6 million more dollars.
It's never going to end. There's already hints there that they're going to ask for more money to buy stuff they already have. So, yeah.
So we will. We have also the issue of Dr. Grimacy. Why was he fired originally? If we knew the truth about that, will we still be so gung-ho for him? And, of course, they couldn't tell you because it was a personnel matter, and we're not allowed to discuss personnel matters. But John's done the digging. He thinks he knows why he got let go.
I can...
And I know he won't bring it out unless he knows it's true, so we'll find out together on Wednesday. So will you, Dr. Grimacy.
Dr. Grimacy knows. That's what's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to get up and look at himself in the mirror every morning knowing what it was that caused that whole ruckus.
Yep. We'll have to put him under one of the appropriate hashtags.
I think there's probably a hashtag or two.
I already know the hashtag, good doctor. So, anyway. All right. So be here Wednesday, 8:30. it was going to be very interesting. Now, I'll tell you something else I've been watching over the weekend on Netflix. There are a lot of World War II documentaries out there. This one was really, really good. It was put out by Ken Burns. Ken Burns, I don't really like him because I think he's duped the taxpayer out of millions of dollars. But
that he has.
That should belong to the taxpayer.
And giving you some lousy history type documentaries.
But this one was about World War II, and at least from the lay person, I wasn't in World War II, so I don't know. And it was a different type of war. It's not a kind of war we would fight today because of all the advances in technology. You know, they didn't have drones flying overhead. They didn't have the GPS to make their bombardments more accurate and so forth and so on. But anyway, it was, I thought, a really good documentary carrying you step by step through the war. And the biggest thing they emphasized on was the human loss of life. It was enormous. 16 million Americans fought in World War II. It was roughly half a million that didn't come home, and that's a lot of folks. But they didn't even get into the wounded and those that are crippled by it. And they were throwing men at places that you would never have heard of because the Germans were there. And it basically just became a war of having more men than they had bullets. That's kind of how it was. And so many, you know what, at the height of the push on Germany, I'll ask the colonel here, maybe, and he's a history buff too, but more so in the Civil War. But at the height of the World War II, right at the Battle of the Bulge, what was the life expectancy of a frontline officer?
Oh, brand new officer? Not much. I mean,
what would you guess?
Oh, it's measured in minutes.
Pretty close. Yeah. 17 days. That was your life expectancy if they saluted you and you were on the front line controlling the troops.
Well, you know, when you look at some of the divisions, you know, I've kind of read a little bit about the 45th Division because that was my father's division. But, you know, their total casualties were well over 100%,
yeah.
Which means now that
all
doesn't
got to be replaced.
Yeah, you know, it's well, it's just phenomenal what some of those infantry units went through as far as manpower.
They're cold, they're hungry, they're dug in on the sides of roads, and
well over 100% replacement rate, and. Yeah, you talk about the killed in action and combat casualties, et cetera. That doesn't even account for all the training and non-combat illness and all those things, too. You throw that in there, and it's huge.
Yeah.
You know, even for Civil War.
I just don't think we fully appreciate the sacrifices those Americans made.
No, Civil War casualties, there were more troops
died. Was
that
3 million dead on that?
Well, no, but more troops died of sickness, illness, and et cetera than died in actual combat.
Right. And the number one casualty of the war were civilians.
Yeah.
When we were bombing Tokyo heavily, a lot of the pilots were getting a little unsettled about the fact that they knew they were bombing civilians. And they turned around and showed them a film of the government in Japan training everybody that can hold a stick.
Oh, yeah.
How to fight Americans if they invade. So they had to convince them that everybody's military. They're all in this together. And this is part of taking it out.
Well, that was the fear, you know, if there was going to be, what was it, Operation Olympus was the invasion of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the fear that if you put troops on Japanese soil, that it was going to be everybody. Mm-hmm. And given the experience on the islands, Peleliu, Okinawa, Iwo Jima, et cetera, it was not going to be good.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you look, on mainland China, the Japanese still had 1.5 million soldiers in arms in China, and they were not a defeated military by any means. They were defeated. Well, the Navy had pretty well been whittled down to zero. But as far as air, what was done with the airplanes, kamikazes at Okinawa, I mean, Okinawa is the first battle where Navy casualties exceeded the ground casualties for a battle.
Yeah, they brought that up in the film.
Did they? Okay, well, yeah, now you're going to attack mainland Japan where there's virtually untold airfields, et cetera. You can't cover them all. You can't destroy them all and destroy all the airplanes. And, trying to get a fleet close enough to make that amphibious landing, put those troops on the Kanto plain where it was scheduled to go, it was just not going to be, good.
Right.
So, then you get into the atom bomb and all those kind of things, so.
Well, the film was good in that it had actual participants in there. One. How big is a battalion?
Well, today about 700 and some odd people, but it varies. I don't know what an Army battalion is. Marine Corps battalion was 750.
So 7 to 1,000.
Roughly.
Roughly, yeah.
Depends on additions and subtractions. Yeah.
Well, there was one officer in a battalion. He was a first lieutenant, and they were on the advance in Germany. They ultimately got captured. But the sergeant came to him and says, "You're in charge." He says, "What do you mean?" He says, "You're the only officer left." And he was a first lieutenant. So, the life expectancy of that officer was pretty low.
Well, that was common. That's why you had field commissions. You'd take, for example, Audie Murphy. He started out as an enlisted man, took a field commission. Talking to my father, that's what you really called a Mustang officer, not just a prior enlisted officer, but someone who took a field combat commission. That was the initial. Now it's just covers a broader range. But yeah, when you need leadership and you look around, you might have a corporal or a sergeant out there that is pulling more than his weight, and you say, "Hey, you come over here," and you pin some bars on him. And, take that platoon or take that company, and you're it.
Yeah. Well, again, can't say enough about those that fought that war and all those back here at home that helped gear America up to produce it, too. It was a big job.
Right. Well, that's something that I know is not appreciated as much as it probably should be, that you had the industrial base here in America, plus you had to put the logistics together to put it across the Atlantic and put it across the Pacific.
Right.
And the people that
That's no good sitting in the parking lot here.
Exactly. I mean, the Soviets actually defeated the Germans. Yeah, okay. Well, the Soviets would have had a much tougher time without all the Lend-Lease and stuff we sent them.
Yeah.
And just what the Soviets admit to is a huge amount of logistics as far as trucks, transportation, aircraft.
Right.
We sent them we sent them a lot more, but the Soviets admitted that they took 18,000 combat aircraft. Which is close to, I can't remember what the percentage, but that was a huge percentage of their combat aircraft.
Right.
And when you watch the Soviet stuff, it's always a T-34 tank, it's always a Sturmovik airplane or something. But they flew P-30 or P-63s, they flew P-40s, and a bunch of other stuff that we sent them, tanks and trucks. And without that, they're still in a static state on the front lines there in the east with the Germans.
Right. Well, it was a horrible war. If you want to watch it again, it's just called The War on Netflix, and it's worth seeing. All right, 7:55. We haven't got much sound bites done this morning, but we'll make up for some of that right now. Tony Awards. I know the Colonel was up late last night. That's why I was a little sleepy watching those Tony Awards. If you missed it, maybe this will do you some good.
If you didn't watch and don't care about the Tonys, then maybe you need to watch the real Tony Awards, featuring skateboarder Tony Hawk, quarterback and sports announcer Tony Romo, basketball player Tony Parker, and football great Tony Gonzalez. Don't miss award presentations from Tony Shalhoub, Tony Blair, Tony Robbins, Tony Dow, and Tony Danza. Musical performances from Tony Bennett and Tony Orlando, with guitar solos from Tony Iommi and Tony Perry. Plus the obligatory Dead Guy montage featuring Tony Curtis, Tony Gwynn, Tony Nelson, and Tony Soprano. The real Tony Awards, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, that's a reason not to watch it right there, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel.
Let's see, how much time I got? All right, Monday's here already. Hang in there, it gets better. Here's Monday's montage for you.
Everyone talks about the idea of the dreaded Monday blues.
I hate Mondays.
On Monday, I woke up.
I was so confused and depressed.
Sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays.
Every Monday, something goes wrong.
These are hard times, my friends.
Hard times. You're not gonna get your rock bottom.
I hate Monday.
I don't know about you, but I hate Mondays.
Why do people hate Mondays so much?
It's gonna be hard.
You're not gonna hit a rock bottom.
Well, a guy in Pennsylvania recently called the local news with a theory about why the area has had more tornadoes than usual.
Uh-oh.
He thinks they're caused by some newly installed traffic circles.
We didn't have tornadoes here until we started putting into traffic circles. Because on the counter, you want to know why? When people go round and round in circles, it causes disturbance in the atmosphere and causes tornadoes.
Little problem, traffic circles goes counterclockwise, tornadoes go clockwise.
Well, don't tell him that. I think that's a great theory. That's a good reason not to put them in.
Yeah, they're not tornadoes anymore. Pronounce it for me again, sir.
Tornadoes.
Tornadoes.
Tornadoes, yeah. That's right.
Say it again.
Tornadoes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, if we get hit with one here.
Yeah,
there
karma, won't it?
It's marked out down there on Airport or Midland and 22, so you can go down there and see
have
it.
you gone down Midland Road lately, down toward the highway, and see all those trees disappearing by the hundreds?
Yep.
Yep, that's just the start. Because the DOT said, we're going to make this road look like all other roads in North Carolina and pull our templates out of our books and put it on your road so it would look like everyone in Charlotte and Raleigh, and the hell with your history. We don't care. Because we're the DOT, and you all don't have a single person in any of your councils or boards willing to stand up to it. You know, we have a word for all those folks. You know what that word is, Colonel?
No, I don't.
A eunuch. A eunuch. All right, currently here in the Sand Hills area, 72 degrees. Full forecast is straight ahead. Along with all your news, sports, weather, and John Zoom will be back.
While we'll stay mostly dry, we still have the chance for scattered light rain showers today with highs in the low to mid 80s. As we get into this evening, that's when we can see the better chance for showers and storms. Some of those could produce some heavy rainfall at times and increase flooding concerns across our area. Temperatures will fall into the upper 60s and lower 70s. We do have a drier day on tap for tomorrow with highs in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Iran's top diplomat spewing threats against the United States. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Zarif saying the U.S., in his words, cannot expect to stay safe after launching what he describes as an economic war against Tehran. The Democrat-controlled House Judiciary Committee expected to approve a resolution today asking the courts to force Attorney General Barr to respond to requests for information. The panel had been talking about holding Barr in contempt of Congress. President Trump saying that he reserves the right to impose tariffs on Mexican imports if Mexico fails to follow through on a deal brokered with the U.S.
Instead of imposing a 5% tax on goods from Mexico, the president is hailing an agreement reached on Friday. He tweets that there is now going to be great cooperation between Mexico and the USA, something he says that didn't exist for decades. That cooperation refers to increased border security. However, the president warns that he can always return to the very profitable position of tariffs if Mexico's cooperation doesn't happen. Greg Clugston, Washington.
After the U.S. took steps aimed at protecting American technology and intellectual property from theft by foreign powers, specifically China, Beijing is responding in kind.
The official Xinhua news agency says it's called a National Technological Security Management List. The People's Daily newspaper says it sets up a strong firewall to strengthen China's ability to innovate and accelerate the development of key technologies. The initiative follows U.S. moves to restrict U.S. technology sales to Huawei and other Chinese tech firms.
Correspondent Ben Thomas. One person killed, 5 others hurt when a construction crane fell onto a 5-story apartment building in Dallas yesterday. Wall Street, Dow futures up 133 points, S&P futures up 14. More on these stories, townhall.com.
When it comes to your pain, many of you might be skeptical, like I was, about ordering Relief Factor. Pat Boone again for this wonderful 100% drug-free supplement designed to help your own body lower or eliminate occasional aches and pains due to aging, exercise, everyday living. I'm not skeptical any longer. The 3-week quick start is now discounted to only $19.95. Why don't you let us see if we can get you out of pain, too, at ReliefFactor.com.
Oh, my gut. We need to talk about something. Constipation, abdominal pain, and bloating. You tell yourself, it's not that bad. You take laxatives and modify your diet and exercise routine. But thinking about it all the time is frustrating. This doesn't have to define you. If your constipation comes back again and again and you don't know why, then it may be time to seek help. Go to ohmygut.info where you can learn more about your symptoms and get to know your gut. That's ohmygut.info. ohmygut.info.
Negotiations or nominations are closing in the race to become Britain's next Prime Minister after Theresa May steps down.
So far, almost a dozen contenders are battling it out over various issues, including Brexit, tax policy and past drug use, in the race to become Britain's next Prime Minister, after Theresa May stepped down after failing to secure Parliament's backing for her EU withdrawal deal. One favourite is former Cabinet Minister Boris Johnson, who is pitching to take Britain out of the EU with or without a deal, while another contender, Environment Secretary Michael Gove, is trying to limit fallout from his admission of long-ago cocaine use. Charles de Ledesma, London.
Finance ministers and central bank chiefs from the group of 20 major economies have wrapped up a meeting in Japan, pledging to use all the policies they can to protect global economic growth. News and analysis at townhall.com. Hundreds of thousands of protesters on the march in Hong Kong. They oppose legislation that would allow people to be extradited to mainland China to face charges.
The demonstration took place 3 days before Hong Kong's government plans to bring the bill to the full legislature, bypassing the committee process. Hong Kong's leader Carrie Lam has pushed forward with the bill despite widespread criticism. Opponents say China's legal system would not guarantee the same rights to defendants as in semi-autonomous Hong Kong, which was allowed to retain its own systems for 50 years following its handover from British to Chinese rule in 1997. But China's ruling Communist Party has been seen as increasingly reneging on that agreement by forcing through unpopular legal changes. I'm Sarah Bassett.
And on Wall Street this morning, Dow futures are up 136 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm Jeff Drummond with a WEEB Viewpoint editorial. In 2016, SFLA Architects was selected as the architect for our 3 proposed elementary schools. SFLA was part of a group of 14 architectural firms that initially submitted their credentials for consideration. A review committee consisting of School Board Chairman Cunningham, School Board Member Caldwell, Dr. Grimacy, Mr. Barath, Mr. Leeson, Dr. Pruden, and Mrs. Cooper reviewed these submissions and picked the top 5 contending firms for a formal interview. SFLA Architects made the cut down to 5 firms. Following the interviews, the committee ranked them and selected SFLA architects. At this point, the key to the process is the selection committee membership of Mr. Barath, and this is the reason. He's a former employee of SFLA Architects. So why was he on the committee? Clearly this is a conflict of interest. Even a modicum of personal integrity demands he should have excluded himself from the selection committee. Failing the personal integrity check, any other of the members of the selection committee probably should have suggested he exclude himself from the deliberations. Although maybe the members weren't aware of Mr. Barath's prior employment with SFLA. After all, not all of them would be in a position to know his employment background. Certainly not all the public members, maybe not the school board members either, but that's a stretch. But certainly Dr. Grimacy would know Barath was a former SFLA employee. So, Dr. Bob, why didn't you leave Barath off the board? That would have removed any appearance of conflict of interest. Really makes me wonder what you think about it. Of course, maybe Barath mentioned his SFLA relationship during the proceedings. We could take a peek at the minutes of the selection process and the interviews to see what Barath said. But wait, John Zumwalt FOIA'd all those records and was told that no minutes of the process or interviews were kept. That's right. A government agency kept no minutes or transcripts of a process that involved millions of taxpayer dollars. I guess a school board appointed committee couldn't find someone with the requisite skills to write it all down, or maybe push a button on a recording device. Really, folks, our school board makes spending decisions worth millions of dollars, tax dollars, without a record of the proceedings. What amateurs. This has been a Viewpoint editorial by Jeff Drummond.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Pride Plumbing is proud to serve Moore County with superior workmanship and dependable plumbing service, including 24/7 emergency service. Like the name says, we take pride in our work and your safety. Our employees must pass background and drug tests and share Pride Plumbing's reputation for quality service. From simple leaky faucets to new water heaters and sewer lines, backflow testing and installation, drain cleaning, plumbing repairs, and, if necessary, replacement and remodeling. A family business with over 50 years of prideful service. Go online to callprideplumbing.com and check out our 5-star customer reviews. We offer a 10% discount to all veterans and active military. Call Pride Plumbing of Moore County at 910-295-0152. 910-295-0152. Serving with pride since 1965.
You found it, your dream home. The perfect square footage on a quiet street. The Midtown condo with the amazing roof deck. The country house on some acreage. Or maybe it's a little bungalow on the beach. Whatever your dream looks like, First Bank offers personalized loan programs. Great rates and exceptional service every time for everyone. Dreams happen at First Bank. Learn more by visiting a local branch or go to localfirstbank.com/mortgage.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Being overweight is the #1 health problem in America today. It leads to so many avoidable health issues. If you have a weight problem and finally want to do something about it, then do what I did and participate in the Transforming You Weight Loss Program, offered by Dr. Sharon Wright at Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes. It's a customized, physician-assisted program based on your body type and your goals. A healthier, more vibrant, spirited, and slimmer you emerges. Now, I lost 25 pounds in the first month and 50 pounds to date. That keeps me motivated. Now, the program is easy to follow. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and if I can do it, you can do it. Give Dr. Wright a call and set up your no-charge consultation about the Transforming You Weight Loss Program at 910-673-2225. That's White Chiropractic at 673-2225.
Hello, this is Chris Ennis, Service Manager at Pinecrest Patriots Hyundai. We want to thank all of our loyal customers for entrusting us with the care and maintenance of their vehicles over the years. But did you know we also service Lexus, saving you a trip to Raleigh or Charlotte? In fact, our factory-trained and certified ASE technicians can service any type of vehicle. Your complete satisfaction is our #1 goal, so please consider Pinecrest Patriots Hyundai for all your vehicle service needs. We are open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and open on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. We can be reached at 910-692-2424. We look forward to seeing you.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. A chunk of North Carolina's mountains and foothills are facing flash flooding that's being blamed for 3 deaths. The National Weather Service says that 6 inches or more of rain has fallen in parts of the region between Boone and Lincolnton since Thursday. In Gaston County, Sherry Rutledge is a victim of the flooding and tells WSOC News in Charlotte.
I don't have flood insurance. My mom canceled it years ago because the house never flooded. Never, ever flooded. It was built in the 70s. So this is the first time.
Winds as high as 70 miles per hour are thought to be a contributing factor in a deadly crane collapse onto an apartment complex in downtown Dallas. CBS News' Laura Podesta says 1 woman was killed and 4 other people were injured, 2 critically.
Authorities say that a lot of the people who were in the building were not home at the time, so if they had been, there could have been a larger number of casualties. The management of the Dallas building that the crane collapsed onto has decided to evacuate all the apartments and move residents to hotels.
North Carolina Republicans want a Gaston County energy industry consultant with lots of Washington experience to head the state party for the next 2 years. The state Republican Party convention over the weekend elected Michael Whatley as its chairman. Retired Boston Red Sox star David Ortiz, the slugger known as Big Papi, is in stable condition this morning after being shot at a bar in his hometown of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. CBS News lead national correspondent David Bigno, following developments from New York, says Ortiz was rushed into surgery at a nearby clinic.
Outside the clinic, Ortiz's father said his son was resting and the bullet did not hit any major organs. Doctors are expecting a full recovery.
A small town council is literally divided after a North Carolina judge ordered a barrier installed to separate 2 members who had a physical confrontation. It happened in the town of Hertford. You're listening to NCN News.
There are millions of unused and leftover opioid pills in North Carolina alone, enough to stretch from the mountains to the coast. These powerful prescription pills are contributing to an epidemic that takes 5 lives every day. But there is something more powerful than opioids. All of us. We can take back our extra pills and ask our healthcare providers about alternatives for pain. Together, we can take back our communities. Learn how you can help end the epidemic at morepowerfulnc.org.
Medicaid expansion, school safety, a statewide bond package, the next state budget. North Carolina lawmakers are tackling these and other topics. You can follow all the action with Carolina Journal. How would these proposals affect you, your wallet, your family? Carolina Journal offers answers. Available each month as a free newspaper. Every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your best source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
In April, 17-year-old Paige Miracle drowned after being caught on a rip current at Emerald Isle Beach. Now her father is launching a public information campaign about the dangers of rip currents. John Miracle of Wake County says one hazard of rip currents is that you can never tell which side of it you're on.
So if you're right near the edge of it and it's to your right and you go right, you might swim 30 seconds and you're out of it. End of story, and you walk back to the beach. But it could be to the left of you, and you turn left, and you've got 100 yards or more, and this thing is pulling you out.
Now to Britain, where the battle over who will be the next prime minister intensifies this week.
11 lawmakers from Theresa May's Conservative Party are in the race, which will be decided by party members.
Jeremy Hunt.
This candidate among those contending that the same issue that torpedoed May's career, Brexit, will decide who succeeds her.
Without Brexit, no Conservative prime minister can win.
After another candidate, Michael Gove, admitted taking cocaine 20 years ago.
It was a crime. It was a mistake. I deeply regret it.
5 other prime ministerial hopefuls have now admitted using drugs long ago. Not clear if that will affect the outcome.
One person was killed on Sunday evening in a crash involving a motorcycle in Wake County. The crash happened on Garner Road near the intersection of Benson Road. A warning about makeup targeted at tweens.
A recall at the mall. The FDA says JoJo Siwa's makeup kit sold at Claire's could be contaminated with trace amounts of asbestos. They come with eyeshadow, 2 lip glosses, and nail polish, and they're targeted at young girls and teens. 16-year-old Siwa starred on Dance Moms.
I thought mine was going to be like a vampire because it talks about like drinking blood.
She later became a breakout star on YouTube. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
For today, we're likely to see scattered light rain showers with highs heading into the low to mid 80s. The better chance for showers and storms will move in as we get into this evening and tonight. We could see heavy rainfall at times. Temperatures for tonight will fall into the upper 60s and lower 70s. We do have a cooler day on tap for Tuesday with highs in the lower 80s and our humidity levels falling. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills area is cloudy and 71 degrees. Humidity max at 100%. Dew point 71. Pressure 30 even. Winds calm. Visibility 10 statute miles. It's 8:15. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Monday morning, hours after Saturday's ceremony, the commencement ceremony at Pinecrest High School. A graduate there was seriously injured in a head-on vehicle collision. Elijah McCormick, 18, was traveling south on 15501 when his Toyota Camry collided with a Kia SUV shortly after 12:20 in the afternoon near Pine Bluff Lake Road in Aberdeen. The fronts of both vehicles were crumpled by the crash. The impact sparked a fire in the engine compartment of McCormick's heavily damaged passenger vehicle. Witnesses pulled McCormick from the wrecked car and helped direct traffic until first responders arrived. McCormick was placed in a helicopter and flown to UNC hospitals in Chapel Hill and was said to be in critical condition. The driver of the SUV also suffered several injuries in the crash and was flown to the hospital. The man's name and condition not released by authorities. And First Bank has freed Moore County from 5 remaining annual $15,000 payments on an incentive offered the bank in 2013 to relocate its corporate headquarters to Southern Pines. The county has already paid the bank's holding company $75,000. County officials plan to allocate the remaining $75,000 for an expansion project at Hillcrest Park in Carthage with First Bank's full support. The Hillcrest project includes the construction of a 26,500 square foot recreation center, a splash pad, and other improvements. The splash pad is scheduled to open July 10th. Commissioners voted unanimously to approve the deal. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:18.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Brad Marchand and Dave Pasternak each had a goal and an assist as the Boston Bruins whipped the St. Louis Blues 5-1 in St. Louis and forced a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Tuukka Rask stopped 28 shots for Boston.
We try to get a good start, but obviously the home team's trying to make a push and trying to get that early lead. I think our penalty kill was excellent. We killed that penalty in the first period, and that's huge. Last time we were here, they scored, 30 seconds in, so obviously you don't want that to happen again.
It remained a one-goal game until the Bruins scored 4 times in the third. Blues forward Ryan O'Reilly says they didn't take advantage of scoring chances while the game remained close.
We did have some good looks and some good chances, but yeah, you need the result. There was a few times there that could have given us the spark we needed to transfer, the momentum. But unfortunately we didn't. But yeah, we gotta let this one go. We gotta bounce back quick and go get it done there.
Game 7 is Wednesday in Boston. Former Boston Red Sox slugger David Ortiz, meanwhile, is hospitalized after surgery following him last night in his native Dominican Republic. Officials say Ortiz was ambushed by a man at a bar in Santo Domingo. The alleged gunman approached from behind and shot him at close range. Ortiz's father says the 10-time All-Star and 3-time World Series champ with the Sox is stable. The bullet missed all his major organs. WBZ anchor Kate Merrill had reaction from the Red Sox. The team posted on their Twitter account overnight.
The Red Sox saying, in part, we have offered David's family all available resources to aid in his recovery, and we will continue to keep them in our hearts.
North Carolina shut out Auburn 2-0 yesterday to force a deciding Game 3 in the Chapel Hill Regional today of the NCAA baseball tournament. Vanderbilt has advanced to the College World Series after routing Duke 13-2 on Sunday. This is NCN Sports.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities.
you can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month or less. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway included at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/access now to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes taxes and fees. Includes 1 terabyte of data per month. Data overage charges apply. For details about data allowance, go to att.com/internet-usage. Geographic and service restrictions apply.
Kevin Durant took to the practice floor yesterday for the first time in more than a month, giving the Golden State Warriors hope that he'll play in Game 5 of the Finals tonight at Toronto. Coach Steve Kerr said the plan was to see if Durant could clear some hurdles that he hasn't crossed during his recovery. Kerr said earlier in the series that Durant could return after completing one practice. Rafael Nadal pulled away in what suddenly became a tight final in the French Open to beat Dominic Thiem in 4 sets for his record-extending 12th French Open championship. It raises Nadal's Grand Slam total to 18. The Charlotte Checkers are the AHL's Calder Cup champs following a 5-3 win over the Chicago Wolves in Saturday night's Game 5. Following a heartbreaking loss in Game 1 of the series, the Checkers went on to win 4 straight to clinch the first title in franchise history. They've been in the AHL 9 years. Josh and Zach, NCN Sports.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt. Once and for all, we're going to settle this thing for you. Wednesday morning at 8:30, I'm going to lay out the case for the extremely questionable business practice going on at our schools. When all this started, I told them, I don't believe all of you are involved. Just don't let yourself be caught up in the cover-up. Well, no matter what their motives, there appears to be a cover-up occurring. If nothing else, just the school's refusal to comment publicly on all the issues that have been raised about their way they're doing business with SFLA is beyond concerning. John Barath and Bob Grimacy, Wednesday morning, I'm going to unravel the evidence for what I believe, and what I believe is that you're costing Moore County taxpayers millions and millions of dollars because of the way the contracts with SFLA and others are handled. School board, commissioners, citizens, pathetic pilot, everyone, please listen Wednesday morning live at 8:30. You're going to be furious when you find out the facts.
At Sand Hills Collision Center in Seven Lakes, we proudly serve all your automotive repair, auto body restoration, and collision repair needs. With our brand new state-of-the-art cheap straightening system and eco-friendly AmeriCure paint booth, you can rest assured that your vehicle, boat, or RV will receive top-notch repair and flawless paint jobs. And for all you aviators, we do aircraft body repair too. Sand Hills Collision Repair Center is veteran-owned and offers the 5% discount to our military family. We give free estimate and accept all insurance and self-pay. All our ATECs will provide superior customer service from start to finish because we are committed to quality and prompt expert service. Bring your automobile, boat, or RV by today for a free quote at 135 Village View Drive in Seven Lakes. That's just 2 minutes from the Food Lion on Seven Lakes Drive. Or call us at 910-673-AUTO. That's 673-AUTO. Sand Hills Collision Center, because you deserve the best.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call, we'll be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort Services.
Come to Comfort Services in Aberdeen to get a free estimate on a new Carrier system or heat pump, and you may qualify for a rebate up to $2,000 from Carrier. Get in on the savings and purchase a qualifying heating or cooling product before the Cool Cash rebate ends June 30th. You may also qualify for financing options as well. Stop into Comfort Services on Highway 5 next to the Habitat store in Aberdeen, or call 910-695-2665. Carrier and Comfort Services, a great team.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
I think we can all agree weekends are delicious. Well, your weekend just got more delicious. The Hickory Tavern is now serving brunch on Saturdays and Sundays from 11 to 2 with several entrees to choose from. Baked omelet filled with sautéed peppers and onions, tomato and goat cheese, and topped with bacon crumble and sour cream. The Tower of Power beefy blueberry pancakes. Avocado toast. Fresh sliced avocado and tomato salsa piled on sourdough toast and topped with balsamic reduction, candied banana and walnut French toast, mini squares, and last but definitely not least, the Chicken Wafflewich, a Belgian waffle with hand-breaded chicken breast with maple sausage gravy. Each entree comes with a side of bacon. Wash it down with a shareable jumbo mimosa, carafe, or Bloody Mary. Get out of the box and into the Hickory Tavern for brunch, Saturdays and Sundays from 11 to 2.
For generations, Benjamin Moore Regal Select has been the paint you rely on most for its performance and versatility. Available in a variety of sheens and more than 3,500 colors. Regal Select applies smoothly and finishes every job with unmatched sophistication. Visit your local Benjamin Moore retailer for expert advice and learn for yourself why Regal Paint is the brand painters know from the company that knows paint. Benjamin Moore, paint like no other. Genuine Benjamin Moore paint. Exclusively at JB Short Carpet 1. JB Short Carpet 1 on Highway 1 North between Southern Pines and Bass. Or on the web at shortcarpet1.com.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. Mob actions and lynchings. They're horrible things to read about. They have a few common denominators. One is that a mob gets whipped up into a frenzy. The second thing is that a certain action is demanded. It usually meant the lynching of a black person. They were hung without trial, without facts, without any type of due process. The third thing they have in common is that in almost none of the cases did the victims ever get any kind of justice. We had a mob action here in Moore County in 2015. I was part of it. We had no facts. We had no evidence. We had no details. We had a Facebook page whipping us up into a frenzy. We had a state representative telling us he would go to the legislature and introduce legislation if 5 school board members did not resign, and we all agreed with him. We had people, including me, calling for them to step down immediately. Of course, they did resign. We ruined their lives for a while. We did so based on false information, spewing from all over social media. We can't change what happened, but we can tell the full story, and we can try to make it right. Can a single one of you listening, anyone, tell me why those 5 board members voted to fire our superintendent of schools, Bob Grimacy? Well, I think I know. And boy, are we paying the price for bringing him back. Meanwhile, the story's not going away from the Zumwalt Zone.
While we'll stay mostly dry, we still have a chance for scattered light rain showers today with highs in the low to mid 80s. As we get into this evening, that's when we can see the better chance for showers and storms. Some of those could produce some heavy rainfall at times and increase flooding concerns across our area. Temperatures will fall into the upper 60s and lower 70s. We do have a drier day on tap for tomorrow with highs in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Everyone talks about the idea of the dreaded Monday blues.
I hate Mondays.
On Monday, I woke up.
I was so confused and depressed.
Sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays.
Every Monday, something goes wrong.
These are hard times, my friends.
Hard times. Hard times. And now to get to rock bottom.
I hate Monday.
I don't know about you, but I hate Monday.
Why do people hate Mondays so much?
It's going to be hard.
Hard times. Hard times. And I gotta hit rock bottom.
And we're back in 3, 2.
How was your weekend? What did you do?
Well, it was okay.
But not nearly long enough.
And I did nothing.
Well, that sounds fun.
That sounds fun.
But then something happened that made it
Horrible.
Horrible.
just horrible.
What happened?
What happened?
Monday.
You ruined a perfectly good weekend.
Monday morning, you're going to be like, it's showtime.
Children play in the park.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, morning, Moore County. Kind of lazy, hazy, little buggy, little warm, little muggy. Come on, let's go. Let's get up. Let's work up a sweat.
All right, you got your standing orders. Don't forget, of course, this program is being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available now at our website at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link is located for that. If you're on your mobile device, YouTube will do the work. You just put Mornings with the Leader Man in the search. If you're on your mobile device needing just our audio stream, that's available with a whole lot of streaming apps such as TuneIn, iTunes, Streamer. Many others will do it too. iHeartRadio does not. They only put their stations that they own up on that app. And we're not owned by them. So, that in mind, you put WEEB into that search, or as always, you can get it on our website at talk973.com. Upper right-hand corner of every webpage has an icon that says, listen live on the air. Tap it once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills. This will be the muggy one before things will start feeling better on your skins, as our dew points are really going to come down into the comfy levels for the remainder of the week. For today, cloudy with showers, high humidity, and 84. Tonight, more of the same, maybe a thunderstorm thrown in there, a low of 68. Tomorrow, dew points drop significantly down into the low 60s, upper 50s. So it'll be partly cloudy, a few scattered showers, high of 80. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, 62. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, showers likely. 73 is the highest as we'll go. That might feel pretty good, to be honest about it. Humidity will be down, too, believe it or not. Thursday and Friday and Saturday, Sunday, yeah, we got, you'll see the sun. It'll be partly cloudy, chance of showers, high in the low to mid-80s. And decent humidity levels, so...
You sound disappointed.
No, I'm happy. You know, summer seems like it has for many years around here, and it might be this way this year, is the fact that summer comes in and you get all the bad days. You don't get many good days at all. You might get one here and there. I mean, we've seen, what was it, in 2012. Is that right? 2016. 15 or 16, I can't remember. The dew points in June went up to 72 and stayed there through October. They just would not go away. I remember pulling out a map and said, I want to see if there's someplace I can go in a day, enjoy some low humidity, and come back that day. And couldn't find it, because I'd find a spot and I'd look it up and the forecast on the dew points, and nope, I can get that right here. And so I couldn't find one within a 500-mile radius. It was terrible.
Is that why you bought a faster car? So you can, get out of here.
The one with the dual turbocharged engine. Yes, it is. Anyway, it's, this is how I remember summers here. I've been in North Carolina all my life. I came from Raleigh originally, but came down here right at about 30 years ago.
So you're not a native?
I'm a native North Carolinian.
Oh, okay. But not to Moore County?
Not to Moore County, but I learned to play golf here as a kid.
Okay.
And I came down here and...
carpet bagging.
Golf
clubs.
No, Avery Beck was the golf pro over at Whispering Pines. And his son, Larry Beck, was there, too. And Avery had a very unique talent of being able to really teach golf. And I took a few private lessons from him, but I came to a golf school he had. And when I started out the golf school, I was shooting about 100. When I left, I was shooting close to par. Which was pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
For a week. That's how much he fixed it. Because I had to swing. I just didn't. There's little minute tweaks in the setup and everything else, and then you got to get the muscle memory ground in your head. But he had you hitting golf balls from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then you were putting from 7 p.m. to dark.
Yeah, okay, well.
So, and I learned also that's what it takes to really shoot down in the low numbers.
Yes.
You got to play every day, all day. That's what it takes to get that. Once you're a good golfer, doesn't mean you can play at the high caliber levels unless you're playing every day and all day. I guarantee you those Jordan Spieths and Tiger Woods and all of them. Tiger probably just goes out his back door to his own private driving range, but they will go out there every day, even on the off days, and hit a couple of buckets of balls and spend 2-3 hours doing it. And then go to his indoor putting green and practice there. The life of money. I saw a big old, when the U.S. Open was here, big old, it was DC-9 plane. I went, who the hell is flying a DC-9? It was Adam West.
Adam West.
Is that his name? Adam, what's Adam's last name?
I don't know. I don't know which.
Oh, golly. Anyways, on the tour. I went, wow, this, most of you'd expect to see a Gulfstream, but not a DC-9. I mean, how much money do these guys make through the endorsements?
Lots, yeah, sure.
And the little patches they wear like a NASCAR driver. I mean, they're just selling themselves out. I wonder if PGA says, no, you can't have but one patch on your shirt and one patch on your hat.
They probably have rules. Yeah, I don't know what they are.
Next thing they know, you'll see Carson's Online Casino on the back of the shirt. .com. Like you see on a boxing match sometimes, the guy has a advertising Sharpie marked on his back.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And when it starts running from, it's usually waterproof ink, but you sweat enough, it starts coming off. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah. Well, that was a hell of a plane. So I was impressed. But that's the level you got to go to win these golf tournaments and be a part of the PGA to get your tour card and then get out there and earn some big money. Their golf tournaments today, I mean, when Jack Nicklaus won the U.S. Open, it was probably a $35,000 payday for him.
I don't know. Who was the first golfer to make $1 million? I can't remember.
Now I'm sure that golf tournament pays over $1 million.
Yeah.
Probably about $1.2 million or $3 million. 4 rounds of golf, I can handle it.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, I think it's way more than $1 million. The U.S. Open, sure it is. Because just some of these, I don't want to call them fly by night, but just some of these lesser tournaments are $1 million. What was the one down in Mexico where the caddy, they had a standing caddy and the guy wrote him a check. He won the thing, writes him a check for $10,000 or something, and I guess the norm is 10% if you win. So, and he won $1 million down there, and everybody was on his back.
Yeah, those
paying the guy.
Poor caddies you see walking down those fairways in professional golf are multi-millionaires.
A lot of them, but that was the point. This one in Mexico, he was not, because he was a stand-in. So he's just, he's a local guy or whatever, and he's working for peanuts. And that was the point when his guy won the tournament. This guy kind of, threw him some pocket change, and everybody got on him. I can't remember which golfer it was, but
you wonder how a caddy can fall out of favor with their golfer. Because you take Tiger, he had that guy Fluff for a while. He now caddies for Jim Furyk, but Tiger severed his ways there. And then he had a guy from Australia. His name was Steve something. He was with him many years, and they severed that relationship, and now he's on his third K. I don't know his name.
Well, but he had couple interludes there with his back the last time.
Yeah.
So, he wasn't playing.
Probably wanted to caddy for somebody. Yeah. Hey, Tiger, I'm getting offers here left and right, and nobody's. You're not playing.
Yeah.
And when you do, you lose.
You got to make a living. It'd be nice to ride old Tiger's coattails and rake in some big bucks. But if he's not playing, then you got to go do something.
Yeah. I could find a way to manage.
Yeah. Well. On a couple of mil, yeah, so could I, but that's.
I say, do you mind me walking up and down the fairway with your bag?
Well, I think it's a little more than that, but yeah, you got to be.
Let me get some sponsors for it.
You got to have, you got to be able to develop a personal relationship with a golfer and all that.
Yeah, you got to speak your all's language, as we say.
Right.
Yeah. And you got to know that I seen's not a verb. Sheriff.
Jeez. Let it go.
Couldn't help myself. All right. 8:40, 40 past the hour. Let's see what we're going. Oh, things we need to know today so we don't sound stupid. I seen's not a verb. Followed by
tornadoes. Or wear. Did you wear your coat today?
Alec Baldwin says he's done playing Donald Trump on Saturday Night Live. Gee, I didn't know he ever played him.
Well, yeah, he's done, and so is Saturday Night Live.
Puckering your lips and frowning is not acting. It's not impersonating either. Robert De Niro's, this is the one I really like. Robert De Niro's soon-to-be ex-wife says she wants her half of that the actor is worth, which she claims is $500 million.
I guess. Where is it?
Get your pen and paper out, Robert, and get ready to write a check.
Where's their residence? In New York?
I don't know.
I think he lives in New York, so he's cooked. He's giving it up.
F. De Niro.
Well, I think I read something on that, and I think she wants half of his restaurant or something too.
Well, half of everything, yeah.
Well, but there was some prenup or something like that. So, but she's insisting that she gets half of that, and he's really torqued because his restaurant is like his favorite thing or something.
Yep, take it all, honey. Take it all.
Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah.
Dolly Parton says she's never been on any of the rides at her Dollywood Park because it would mess her hair up. Game of Thrones actress Sophie Turner says that her co-star Kit Harington, who played Jon Snow, was to blame for that Starbucks cup being left in a scene of the show.
Okay.
I guess they'll have to kill him again just to get rid of it.
See, it seems like they have a set manager who's really at fault there. He's supposed to be spying things like that, but that's just me. In my opinion.
Well, they're setting it down their feet and then putting it up on the table and...
Well, like I said, there's several people there that should be eyeballing that stuff, and that's just
$13 million an episode. We expect perfection.
Right.
The world's tallest sandcastle has been created in Germany, just under 58 feet tall.
A what? A sandcastle?
Mm-hmm.
Were they using cement to put it together?
I would guess. Something to have to keep it together. If it's 58 feet. NASA is set to allow tourists to visit the International Space Station starting next year. $50 million will get you up there and back. And how long you stay is up to you. It's $35,000 a night.
Oh, the 50.
Let's say they go in day and night once an hour, don't they?
The 50. The $50 million, that doesn't cover the actual stay.
No, that's just the transportation up and back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody will go. Maybe Bezos will go and he'll stay forever.
Yeah.
Maybe the Koch brothers and Soros, maybe he could go. I could think of a few others we could say.
Well, look at it this way. That money gets recycled into the space program, and it's less money out of our pocket.
It's not going to get... No, because the Soviets or the Russians are the only ones that are putting the rockets up there. So
Yeah.
it's, it's not going to get recycled anywhere.
Then there was the 93-year-old Thomas Cuthbert, one of the vets at the D-Day ceremony last week. When he had the chance to talk to the president, he pointed at Melania and said, if I was only 20 years younger.
That's right. He'd be the same age as the
I'd
president.
be snaking you, President.
And they had the good grace to laugh.
She be mine.
Sure, Hey, there's a couple old dudes. I won't go into too much detail, but there's a couple old dudes around here that they're even more forward than that
Think they're
guy.
Clark Gable.
Yeah.
This doesn't work. Today's a possible question. This doesn't work in 1 out of every 4 homes in the U.S.
This doesn't work in 1 out of 4 homes in the U.S.
And almost every home has one. Not everyone, but almost.
Huh. The blender. I don't know.
No. Ding dong. The doorbell.
Oh, the doorbell. Mine works. Okay.
From our Did You Know category, 90% of people have embarrassed themselves when their stomach growled in a quiet setting. Yeah.
That's one way to embarrass yourself.
Yeah, everybody has had that moment, so nobody points it out if they have any class. Recent research suggests that if a man wants to be truly happy, he has to make sure his wife is happier.
No comment. Move on.
Yeah. Well, the old saying, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
10% of Americans will eat fish as part of their dinner tonight.
I had fish last night.
About 20% of workers say it's too cold in the workplace, which makes them less productive. No, it's not.
Well,
it can never be too cold in the workplace.
Let's open the windows and warm it up some.
You can always warm up. Cooling down is a different ballgame. And eventually, the AC does break. And then how do you like it? No word in the English language rhymes with the word month. 38% of us, although in your mind you're trying to make a rhyme right now, aren't you? I did. 38% of us say we dress casually every day at work. 40% of married men say their wives are backseat drivers, and they don't like it.
No, my wife rides in the front seat, so.
Yeah, that's where you get the sound effect coming from the right seat.
Nah, not often.
I'll say, next time, bake yourself a blindfold before you come. Because with twin turbocharged carburetors, this guy is going to be flying. Americans spend over $39 billion on tipping a year. Nice people spend the most. I base it on service.
Yes.
But I'm fair. I'll give you a perfect example. Last night I went to a restaurant. They forgot to bring out the appetizer. After we got our meal, the appetizer suddenly appears, and I said, it's too late for that now. They said, well, we're going to leave it. There's no charge. We're taking it off your bill. I said, okay.
All right, well, they did the right thing.
And I'd rather have had free dessert, but not to be. But they made an effort. So instead of tipping 20%, I tipped 15%.
Yeah.
Because they took away part of the experience of eating there. That was fair, wasn't it? Of course it was.
Did you have the same server throughout?
No, I had like 3 different ones.
Yeah, see, that's the problem in places now that
left hand, right hand don't know what each other's doing.
Right, you got too many people trying to cover the same table. Any place I go where you have the same server, you generally get really good service, but then every now and then it's somebody takes your order, then somebody different brings the order, and then somebody else different from that is taking the plates away.
Yeah.
And you kind of lose
somebody
track
gets
of
the
stuff.
drink order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, yeah, somebody different is. Yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it, one place, 4 people, because somebody different came by filling glasses and stuff. Well, and they're trying, but 4 people trying to communicate on all those different tables and who brought what. Did they get everything they're supposed to have, et cetera? It can be a little disconcerting.
Yeah, I got my plate and it had fries on it, and I wanted ketchup. Silly me.
So you didn't bring your extra packets in your pocket?
No, I immediately stood up.
Were you on the chair?
Went into the kitchen and said, I need some ketchup with those fries you just brought. They went and got me some ketchup.
I bet. Was it Heinz?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Probably a cheaper brand poured into Heinz. Yeah, they get Sally's ketchup, and then they pour it into the Heinz bottles.
Well, that's the secret of all these celebrity chefs.
Yeah.
They buy all the cheapy stuff and add their own.
Last month in Canada, a hunter found a 250-pound black bear chilling out in his tree stand.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Jeff has this problem all the time. He goes back to his tree stand. There sits a 250-pound bear in it.
Yes.
So this hunter ordered the bear to leave. And the bear listened to him. They climbed back down the ladder and took off. And we have it on audio.
Hey, that's my tree stand. Come on. There's not enough room. You need to get down. Come on. Get down. There you go. Thank you. You look just like me getting out of there. You need to get down. Thank you. Now go find Daddy. Go find Big Daddy. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, shoot you where you sit.
Nah.
Oh, don't tell me it's not bear season.
Well, I don't know when that was taken. It's not bear season right now.
Yeah. About 40 high school students in Oregon pulled a senior prank on Friday where they filled the hallways with desks and replaced the erasers in classrooms with hot dogs. The principal said it was he'd fined each student $47, and they couldn't walk at graduation. But the parents of the kids got angry that their kid was being punished. Oh, heaven forbid we punish offenders. So the principal backtracked.
I'm laughing. This was funny, and it was the intent was to be funny. There was no intent by these kids to harm anybody. I thought it was a great prank. It didn't hurt anybody. These are all really good kids.
I think it's nuts. Come on, we're going a little overboard here. They moved some desks around and put a hot dog or two on an eraser board. Give me a break.
I feel like we have kind of lost our sense of humor. If any of these kids cannot walk for graduation due to this or have to pay $50, I think that's terrible.
Yeah, there was a summer when I was in charge of a big swimming pool out there, the project I was doing. And I went by the pool and caught these kids in the bathroom flushing the stuffed up toilet. They thought they were being funny.
Yeah.
And, of course, we had feces and water all over the floor then. So I went and got the mop and the bucket. And I said, you put it down there, you get it up. Or you can go home forever. And so they started mopping, and their parents come get in my face. How dare you make them walk in that filth and get that stuff up? I said, psh, how dare you not raise your kids better?
Yeah. They clogged it up. You don't like it, you clean it up.
I said,
or you get out.
You can go in there and get it cleaned up.
Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
or I'll spend all of it. It doesn't matter to me.
You could have called.
I'm not cleaning it.
You could have called the cops and got them for mischief, or I don't know. There's some charge for it, I'm sure. Done all that.
And I was thinking the same thing here. Well, they put all that crap in the hall and make them get it out.
Yeah, clean it up and stop it.
Oh, speaking of mopping, this ought to disgust you left and right. A Burger King employee, that company that moved their world headquarters from America to Canada.
Right.
So I don't eat there anymore. Well, this one near Jacksonville, Florida, was caught on video, an employee there mopping the tables in the kids' play area instead of wiping them down.
Yuck. Okay.
The same mop that he used on the floor in the bathroom. With a reporter interviewed the woman who recorded the video and said employees are being trained on how to wipe down tables.
I was just disgusted, honestly. I had just ate on that table. Like, did you do this yesterday? Do you do this every night? Did you do this morning? I feel like this is unacceptable.
The restaurant owner will be retraining his team. We saw about 15 minutes ago, and actually still going on behind me, the manager out there with the employees with a cloth teaching them how to wipe down the tables. I saw no mops around.
He's not whipping them with that cloth, is he? Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, who would?
If they're not bathing in the, it was a Burger King too that the guy took a bath in the sink, wasn't it?
Was it? No.
Or Wendy's. That was a Wendy's.
Yeah, that was the one. It wouldn't occur to me if I were an owner of one of those places. It wouldn't occur to me, hey, I'm hiring you. You're going to clean up and all that. It wouldn't occur to me that somebody would take a mop and clean a tabletop off with a mop.
Yeah.
Knowing that they just clean the floor. It wouldn't occur to me that somebody would do that. So, but obviously, yeah, you gotta do the ABCs all the way through.
Yeah.
Wouldn't occur to me somebody would get in the damn sink either.
All right, might as well do a few rim shots before run out of time here. Because we're about to run out of time. Since I've got these ready, I ought to use some of them. Otherwise, they get a waste. Alec Baldwin no longer to play Donald Trump on SNL. So who says there's never any good news out there, huh? Gwyneth Paltrow and her husband don't live together full time. If you were her husband, would you? Sheryl Crow recently said women should be in charge of their own bodies. No thanks, we'll handle it. Replied a bunch of old white dudes in Alabama. Bradley Cooper and his supermodel girlfriend split, and now Bradley will never get laid again. It's just a joke. We're up to more than 1,000 cases of measles in the U.S., so thanks, Jenny McCarthy. You were right. California officials have determined that the state's largest wildfire was caused last year by a spark from a hammer. It's the biggest disaster caused by a hammer since, the parachute pants fad. A Burger King employee in Florida was filmed using a dirty mop, clean tables after using it to mop the floors. Customers were shocked because they'd never seen Burger King employees clean anything before. And people around the world are celebrating the 70th anniversary of George Orwell's novel 1984, or as it's known in Alabama, Playbook.
Do you have... Oh, you got one more?
No, that's it.
Oh, I was going to say, can I just congratulations, Miriam Chu, for winning the vice chairman GOP thing there at the convention on Saturday. She survived the process. Whatever that process may have been, but
it keeps eluding us all. But anyway,
despite everyone's best effort, she won.
Congratulations, Marion. You'll do good. All right, so it goes for this Monday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9, for a titillating Tuesday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways, because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. When you give them first crack at your spending dollars, the money rolls over 68% of it and stays right here in our economy, which makes jobs for all of us. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the Dog will all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Steamy Dog Park.